Hi everyone, welcome to my channel.
Let's see about what is compiler, how it works, best compilers out there, why compilers are important. Basically, a compiler is a software. Firstly, we will write our code in high level language like C programming language or Java language or Python language. Then we will save the file with respect to extensions such as .c, .java like that. Then this file will be taken as input for a compiler and it runs in the compiler. Okay. Then compiler will convert our high level language program into low level language mission, such as binary code all at once. Okay. It will take whole program at once, compile it once, give output at once. This is the way of compiler works. And it will give all the errors if the input code does not follow the rules of the language. See, if C program has some instructions to follow, Java has some instructions to follow. If we didn't follow while writing the code regarding these instructions, then it will throw some errors. Okay. And it will be handled accordingly. We will see in the compiler working procedure. And the program which is input to the compiler is called source program. And this program is now converted to a mission level language by a compiler is known as object code. Okay. Now let's see how compiler works. Firstly, the code which we written in C programming language is taken as an input to lexical analyzer. In this, the source code is first tested by the compiler's lexer, which breaks the source code into tokens such as keywords, identifiers, operators, punctuations. So we will write these things in the C programming language. So these will be identified and stored in the symbol table by lexical analyzer. Now, the next step is syntax analyzer. So, in this, where the compiler parses, checks the code for syntax errors. So, basically, syntax analyzer does the work of checking about syntax errors in the code and ensures that it follows the rules of the programming language. So, the compiler generates an abstract syntax tree that represents the structure of the code. After the syntax analysis, then the code is sent to semantic analyzer as an input. Once the code is syntactically correct, the compiler performs semantic analysis on parsed code to find the meanings, nothing but the logical meaning. The compiler checks for logical errors such as mismatches, undeclared variables, and incorrect usage of some operators. Okay. In semantic analysis, it will also find out the illegal operators. So these kind of errors will be found, and these type of analysis will be done by semantic analysis. Now the next stage is optimization. So the compiler may perform various optimizations to improve the performance of the resulting code. It is an optional phase of compiler, but it removes dead code and arranges the sequence of instructions in order to boost the program execution. Okay, basically it will optimize the code in such a way. And next it will be the code generations. The last step is code generation, where the compiler translates the given code into mission readable code, because mission can't read our high level language which is written in the English, but it will read only the binary code. Hence, the compiler converts the code into a assembly language code, which is nothing but binary code. So then this can be executed by the computer in any computer. Okay, that is why we will call this an platform independent. And here comes the symbol table. In this symbol table, it will entry about tokens which were given by the lexical analyzer and adds information regarding attribute type, scope, dimension, and line of references. And also it stores temporary variable information. We will store some values in the temporary variables. So those will be stored in this symbol table. And also mainly it will stores about variable names, constants, procedure and function names, and literal constants and strings, compiler generated temporaries, and labels in the source languages. So these all will be stored in the symbol table. Now we will see about error handler. Error handler is nothing but it will handles about errors, warnings while we're running the code, or it will be gives in the compiling time. So we can say it as compiling time errors. So it will give some errors at that time, and it will also give runtime errors. And if there are any spelling mistakes in the code, it will give spelling errors. Length errors also it will give. If we assign a number to an string variable, it will give illegal character error or illegal assignment, and it will also give structural errors also, and parenthesis errors. If we miss any parenthesis while compiling, it will give in this line the parenthesis is missing. So these types of errors can be handled by error handler. Now we will see why compilers are very important to us. So it makes compiler makes easy to read and write. So they enable developer to write code in high level programming language which are easier to understand and more human readable than mission code. And compiler makes one time compile, saves effort, and more efficient. So compiled code tends to run faster than interpreted code because it has translated into mission code that can directly executed by computers process. This can be particularly important for performance critical applications such as scientific simulations or real time system. Now, another importance is portability. There will be no dependencies. Okay. If your client or anyone else doesn't need any compiler, interpreter, or third party program to be installed in their system for executing the shared executable file of your source code. So, mission code can be run on many different operating systems and hardware architectures because it is platform independent. And here comes proactive and secure. Yes, compiler can provide programmer security by preventing memory related errors such as buffer overflows by analyzing and optimizing the code. It can also generate warnings or errors if it detects potential memory issues. Okay. And there is also another importance, efficient debugging. Yes, most compilers include a number of debugging tools that can help programmers find and fix errors in their code. And these tools can include features such as syntax highlighting, error messages, debuggers, allow programmers to step through their code line by line. And as there is an advantages, we also have some disadvantages. So in disadvantages, compilation time. Depending on the size and complexity of the source code, compilation can take significant amount of time. This can be hindrance to productivity if frequent updates to the code are required. And the another disadvantage is execution speed. Yes, obviously, programs compiled from high level language may not be as fast as programs written in low level languages, as the compiled code may include additional instructions for the compiler to interpret. And another disadvantage is error detection. Compilers can only detect syntax errors and certain semantic errors and may not catch all errors in the source code. This means that the compiled program may not behave as expected, and debugging may require to identify the fix the errors. And the another disadvantage is resource consumption. Compilers can consume system resources, particularly during compilation process, which may not affect other tasks on the mission. So these are all the disadvantages. And here are some best compilers for different programming languages. Thank you.